told yesterday during a CMP that my tinnitus cannot cause migraines or headaches. It's 50-50, that it can only aggravate headaches or migraines. So this is not a question specific to the changes, but it does bring up a great point about the tinnitus changes.
Yeah.
Because, we keep saying tinnitus is going away, which is true. The diagnostic code for tinnitus is...
Everybody's ringing in the ears is going to disappear. Everybody's healed.
The diagnostic code from 38 CFR is flying away. Okay. It will be deleted, erased, and you'll see tinnitus ringing in the ears as a symptom under hearing loss. It was vertigo, which in 38 CFR is peripheral vestibular disorders. That's really hard to say. TBI, and like a ton of neurological conditions, right? And so that's where you'll see tinnitus as a symptom. And I want to hit on the secondaries, and I'll pass it to you. The VA rates symptoms. They always had, and they always will. The VA rates symptoms. In fact, if you have a chronic symptom, the VA that doesn't meet 38 CFR, the VA will find a place in 38 CFR that best suits that. Chronic pain is a great example. If your chronic pain best suits a lumbar strain rating for that diagnostic code, they'll just throw it in there. Okay. If it best suits for a mental health rating, they'll throw it in there. And so the VA rates symptoms. They do not rate the diagnosis, period. So having tinnitus is still it's still going to be a rateable condition. Now, there's tons of caveats to that. There's a secondary cause that I'm going to speak on, which means secondaries are still okay. Now, if you look at the causes of tinnitus, and I know people are going to disagree with me, but just so you know, it's not my opinion. It's the medical community's opinion. The VAs didn't create the tinnitus changes. They didn't create the mental health changes. They did create how they're rating sleep apnea. We'll talk about that, trust me, because that makes me mad. But the VA is essentially falling in line with the tinnitus medical community consensus in the DSM-5 criteria for mental health. The VA is just kind of copying and pasting. And so to give it to you straight, tinnitus does not cause anything, okay? Cause, no. Correlation, yes. Aggravation, yes. Cause, no. And that's why instead of tinnitus having its own DC diagnostic code, it's now a symptom under all these other diagnostic codes. So your CMP examiner, how you worded it is incorrect. Causation, no, but correlation and aggravation, which are still basis of service connection, by the way, the answer is yes. So it's a yes / no / but / unless / except, however 38 CFRs thrown together. Jason, tinnitus.
So back to that. Yeah, right. Yeah, good sure. So back to that question, comment. Prepare for a higher level review or for a supplemental. Chances are you're going to be denied for your migraines as a secondary, because that's what it sounds like you did. So it looks like you filed for, I have migraines due to my tinnitus, right? Filed for that. You went through, you got your CMP exam. The CMP examiner said, yeah, no, you don't. And so that's what they're actually going to put in their report. Not likely to be service connected or secondary to. So now you have a question that you have to answer yourself. Did I supply enough evidence to bring this into equipoise? Do I have a neurologist, for example, who said, yes, your migraines are because of your tinnitus, and here's a letter from me, and here's my credentials, and I outweigh with my credentials that CMP examiner who is just some sort of general practitioner, okay? That would be a good place to be, and you could point that out in a higher level review. Chances are you didn't do that because most people don't, but we'll just say that you didn't. So now, maybe your evidence is close. Well, now you have the benefit of the doubt rule that should take effect. It's probably not, which means you're going to have to take it to the board, probably, where the board will, work with that a little bit better. Probably especially more so now because they don't want the light on them with the Supreme Court breathing down their neck on this. However, another option is, okay, let me throw the brakes on for a minute. I know what's probably going to happen. I'm probably going to get denied. So I'm going to go back to my doctor, whoever it is, and say, hey, can I see a neurologist about my migraines if they're not, right? Try to get to the more letters behind the name, the better when it comes to this. I get it. It's work. It's extra effort. It's like, oh man, I got to make another appointment. I got to get a referral, all of that stuff. Again, Clay, I say it all the time now, treat it like it's $1 million deal, because it is. And if you can get migraines connected as a secondary, I mean, that can be 30% or 50%, which is big and could move you into whatever. I don't know where maybe it pushes you to 100. I don't know, but it's a big deal. So you need to put the effort in and go that route, because chances are you're going to need to put in for a supplemental or push it to the board. So I just wanted to touch on kind of the underlying of all of that. For tinnitus, well, actually, before we jump into it, Clay,